one of the more popular videos on our YouTube channel, and it's actually been coming up and a lot of people are viewing it in when they search on YouTube recently, is called SMCI Stock is the best AI company you've never heard of, and it's over a year old. And the fact we obviously posted many SMCI videos, and the fact that that one is the one people are coming back to makes me think there's a lot of shareholders that are either believing or hoping that this stock will be able to get some momentum and be headed in the right direction again. So I thought it'd be a good time to bring it up to you and ask how you're feeling about SMCI now.
Yeah, we jumped in just because yesterday, and we were like listening, to the earnings, and they did say they had to change their accounting, and I forgot what it was specifically, but basically I think it was a year that they had to change they had to move based on revisions, move their forecast down 9 cents, right? EPS, sorry, not their forecast, their results, right? There was basically an accounting issue, how they stated it. And I bought when I found that and I started it turning around, or I got in, because this company is worth a lot more if there aren't accounting problems, right? And if they're already going through the process and can already say that it's kind of that small of a difference, I always read that as what they did in the first place probably wasn't that bad, right? Because 9 cents a share isn't a lot. And B, it feels like they're getting to the other side of it if they're already probably agreeing with lawyers, the SEC, whoever, on exactly what their accounting issues were, et cetera. So I do think that that's why I got back in. And it's looking really good in the signals, right? Our signals have been really good with SMCI. They understood them when it was going up, as it was going down a little before. They really soured, especially the upside. So they have a good handle. And then, yesterday it was looking really strong again. If you're risk averse, might not be for you, but they said they would release, I think, an amended annual report on February 25th. And the stock's going to fly if they release that. Some of that was the delayed filings. It is trading very, very low for where it's at. So that's what I got in. I might hold until then. If it's going to face a dip, I might get out. But this is especially because our signals have turned around on it, it's looking like an attractive stock.
So you're referencing how they're going to shift their EPS, whatever, by 9 cents. And I think if you're a shareholder that got burned by SMCI's drop, you might be wondering, can you even trust them now saying that or adjusting that? Is it real now just because they've changed it? I'm wondering, I believe they're in the S&P 500. They replaced Whirlpool. Is there checks and balances on companies that, you don't just have to take SMCI's word for it, and the indexes kind of verify that these things are accurate and protect investors in these companies?
At the end of the day, right, you have to trust the management, right? Once any investigation's over, all of their things are updated, whatever, that means it's resolved. But until it's resolved, it really has to do with trusting the management, right? You have to trust, because right now, this is the kind of thing that can get you sued and maybe in jail, right? Now they could be in a ton of shit still with, accountants and not knowing how to restate and all and they could be pretending that everything's okay, right? So they can actually have the stock go up and maybe exit their own shares, right? That's the kind of thing that could put you in jail if you're a CEO. But there's a lot of things in between that, ultimately what it comes down to is, do you trust them? I have no reason not to trust them. And I also one of the nice things about the Prospero metrics is I didn't have to think about that too hard, because if option sentiment is back, if upside is back that high, it means that people that know management better than me trust them. That's the big thing. But just what I told you, it's a little risky until February 25th, right? If they announce that they're going to be late, there's a company that I followed that kept on saying they were going to release this thing and people got excited and the stock would go up, and then they just pushed it back, right? If they push it back, that's going to be pretty bad, which is why I'm going to be watching that option sentiment. But, this is the kind of risk profile that I like. especially like past earnings. People are happy. Some people are raising their price targets. This is the kind of risk I like because it's a big payoff if they release on time, right? Could go up 30, 40% in a day, right? If they push it back or like whatever, we're probably talking about maybe only like, 10, maybe 20%. So when you can do that kind of analysis, right? And it might be that, 40, 50% a day and it just keeps going, right? Because it's just viewed more like, it was in the past, with everything behind it. But, it's hard, right? Because, not everybody wants that risk profile where it could also go down 20% in a day. But like this to me, especially with our metrics signals looking good on it, it kind of has the markings of a stock that's like climbing out of its problems.